let's move on. Before we talk about the latest in the news coming around, let's talk about today's sponsor, and that is Manscaped. Support for MVP Sports Live is brought to you by Manscaped. And Dave, the next thing we are talking about is Lonzo Ball. We got the Ball brothers out there playing well. Lonzo Ball could be coming to Chicago, so why not we talk about the product that is going to make your balls so smooth. Remember, I do use the product. Do not come at me like I don't. Manscaped is the best in below-the-waist men's grooming. They offer precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Join the movement for all your below-the-waist grooming needs. You can go right now, manscaped.com, use the code MVP, get 20% off and free shipping. That's 20% off. That's free shipping. That's 2 for 1 when you go to manscaped.com. Use the code MVP. As I always say, your balls will thank you. And Dave, right now, rumor is, reason why we're talking about this, Dave, is over the weekend, Rich Paul, use it as you may here, kind of leaking some information, Dave, kind of saying if the Pelicans were to trade Lonzo Ball, that Ball would prefer it to be to the Chicago Bulls. Just kind of throwing it out there, hey, my client wants to be traded. This is kind of where he wants to go. Dave, first thing I will ask you is, do you think Lonzo really wants to be in Chicago? Or is this a leverage tool that Lonzo is going to use to try to get the Pelicans to trade him somewhere else? Or to get I don't think getting the asking price really matters to Lonzo. Just, do you believe that he wants to be in Chicago?
I don't know. Nor do I really care what he wants to do.
Okay.
He's under contract. You trade for him if you think he helps the team. Okay. That's my answer at the end of the day. I don't think it gives a damn what matters. He's under contract and he'll be an RFA next year. Yeah. Got no options.
But if you're the Bulls, does this make you inclined to trade for him because you think he wants to play there? Or are you still sitting there and saying this is just a move by Rich Paul to get him out of...
If I'm hearing public leaks that he wants to play for in the Chicago area, then I'll use that to my leverage. I'll be like, well, I don't have to offer as much as other teams. Because he wants to play here. He doesn't want to play for the fucking whatever other team's going to offer.
Yeah.
Like, for me, this is just, whatever. It's more fodder for the fucking, yeah, we all know they should go get him. We've been saying they should go get him for 2 years now. There's no difference. Yes, they should go get him.
What do you think gets the deal done? Because for me, the other thing that plays into this, too, is it was announced over the weekend that the finisher, Lowry Markkanen, Dave, is going to miss now another 2 to 4 weeks with a shoulder sprain. So yet again, this season for Lowry is it's painful
just
for
like
me.
Every other season.
Because it's just like
he's not playing it.
He comes in, he takes 2 steps forward because, wow, he's playing really well. Then he gets injured, and then he's out. So there's a part of me that's like, there's a part of me that goes, I know that everyone in our Discord, we were talking about trades earlier. It's like there's a part of me that does not want to give up a first for Lonzo, unless it's like a lottery or top 10 protected in 2023. But I don't know if the Pelicans are looking for that, if they want to pick possibly this year or next year. And to me, the other linchpin is Lowry Markkanen going to be in this deal because, will the Bulls want to move him because of, hey, he's been injured most of this year or chronic injury, or will it be hey, no, we want to keep on to him? Like for you, do you want to trade Lowry or do you want to keep him? Like, would he have to be a linchpin in this deal for Lonzo?
I would rather trade Wendell, if I'm being blatantly honest. I know it's ridiculous because Wendell's under contract for 1 further year.
Yeah.
But I've seen more out of Lowry than I have out of Wendell. Both are missing time left and right. They already have a center down there who's not really getting the most development in Jackson Hayes. So I do wonder, if they would have any interest really in getting Wendell. Maybe they could try Wendell at the 4. I don't fucking know. Like, it seems like at times, as of recently, Zion plays best at the 5.
Yeah.
So who knows what they really want for their starting lineup. But as far as young assets go, yeah, I would give up Wendell over Lowry. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Give up Otto Porter, too. I know that doesn't help for contracts, but I would do it.
Yeah, right now, because I'm working the
trade machine. Steven Adams And Lonzo Ball for Wendell and Otto Porter and restricted first.
This year,
Who knows?
this year,
Not
next year.
this year. Fuck this year. You're not touching this year.
Yeah, so lottery
Next year.
protected 2023. That's the one I've been throwing out there.
Sure. That's fine. Why not 2022?
Because I like the draft class should be good in 2022, right? Like, aren't we talking really highly about this class and next class? It's the next two that are supposed to be like really good. That's why I'm thinking like 2020. Because like
2023 is Bronny.
Yeah, but here's
I think 2023 is a more stacked class than 22.
But here's also the
22
thing.
has Chet.
Yeah.
But 23 should have like Amoni Bates and Bronny and Wenby. I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, but
the 7-footer who's in Europe.
Here's the other thing I'm thinking is I'm okay being this year and next year. I'm okay being in the lottery. If we're still in the lottery by 2023, shit's hit the fan. We should be in the playoffs by 2023 is what I'm thinking.
Fair.
Like if we're getting Lonzo, Zach, like hell, we could even be a playoff team. Maybe a lottery 2022 then works because if we're in the playoffs, great. If not, we still have our pick. That would actually work. We'd have to wait until. Ooh, that would not work. Steven Adams, we would have to wait until August 6th to make that work because of a recently signed tag on him, according to Trade Machine.
When?
August 6th, it says.
That's not correct.
That's weird.
That's just wrong.
Yeah. Otherwise, it works contractually. It works out.
Yeah, by the trade deadline, he'll be tradable.
The one that I've seen thrown out there is, and yet again, I don't know, if the Pelicans do this. I don't know if the Bulls do this. The one I've seen is Josh Hart and Lonzo Ball for, like, Lauri Markkanen and then, like, contract filler. So, like, a Sato, a Cristiano Felicio, like, something like that. So, yeah, Sato, Lauri, protected first for Lonzo and Josh Hart.
Why do we want Josh Hart?
That's what I've seen people throw in. I'm not saying I would throw Josh Hart in.
No, I'm just asking. I literally can't think of a single reason why we would want Josh Hart.
Unless it's a thing of contracts, which I don't know why it would be, because really to me, here's my just getting to the like case in point and just cracking that nut open is I think Lauri Markkanen has to be in the deal for this to work. And the reason why I say that is I'm thinking from the Pelican side of things. The one thing they really need is front court shooting. And they're a team right now where, like, the biggest thing with Lowry, too, is that health thing. Where if you feel like he's going to be off the court more than on the court, then no, you don't even go and ask for it. But I feel like that's the player, the linchpin, the Pelicans would be wrapped around because that is the value they want. Because like you mentioned, and I said in the Discord, the starting lineup would then, Lowry would be at your 4. Zion can then push to the 5 where he's looked good. You don't have to have Zion out there and basically be on the outside where, yes, he can hit a 3 every now and then, but it's not his game. His game is inside. Plus then maybe Jackson Hayes is developing. You have a rotation then between Lowry, Zion, and Hayes where it's basically when Lowry's not out there and Zion is and Hayes is, Zion, that's when he plays the 4, Hayes is at the 5, but then Lowry comes back in, boom. Zion can move to the 5 or Hayes is at the 5. You can kind of rotate those guys around.
Steven Adams going all this?
Steven Adams, too, could be in there. Also,
he's like $20 million, so.
Well, I'm thinking how many years does he have left? 3 years, so yeah, like you can.
Like a long time.
Then fine, you could basically rotate all 4 of those guys to where you can do different matchups if you want to. Because hell, Lowry's even played at the center. You basically have 4 guys to where if you want, really Zion and Lowry are the only ones at the 4, but you can kind of pick and choose and find out which combination of who at the 4 and who at the 5 works and have different ones out there for depending on who you're playing.
Yeah, I understand. I just don't. Would you trade Lowry for Lonzo?
As a Bulls fan?
Yep.
No, I wouldn't. Like, and that's where I feel like the deal stops is I feel like the Pelicans, the only one on this team that they would want is Lauri Markkanen. Because, like...
Yeah, like Zach LaVine, but we're not saying...
We're not... He's off the table.
Kobe White?
Satan be gone.
Kobe White?
Maybe.
If we got Ball and another future asset for Kobe White, would you do it?
I would, but yet again, it's the whole thing of. So here's what I'm thinking about for the Pelicans is obviously Kobe then would be the first off, he's the backup to Kira, right? Or is he the like I'm because here's what you got
No,
here.
he's the starting shooting guard.
Well, you've yet again they've got Eric Bledsoe under contract for 3 years.
Who's their point guard?
And they've got so then he's the starting point guard, Kira's the backup, and then Kobe's at the 2 is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Eric is their starting point guard.
Okay.
He's a starting point guard today. He's starting point guard tomorrow if the trade is made. It doesn't actually matter.
Yeah. I mean, it gives them options. They also got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but I think Kobe.
Yeah, Nas shooting guard off the bench.
Yeah.
For now. So no, I think that Kobe White would be interesting because he's a pure shooting guard. You know, who can pass sometimes. He would be a much better fit on that team. Could be a win-win, but we would need more back from them. It's one of those situations where it's like we'd be trading the better player, but fit-wise, it works out for both. We just need to get something back on top that makes it juicy enough to move on from someone as gifted as Kobe White.
And that's also the thing. What else would you want? Like,
what would you want?
Like Steve. So, and this is me just speaking. So, yet again, I'm going to say some things that obviously sound like no-brainers, but it's just throwing everything out there. Like Steven Adams, I don't know if I would really take in that. BI's obviously off the board. I feel like Eric Bledsoe would be off the board. Do you try to get a JJ Redick if you're the Bulls? Do you switch basically you add JJ to that team because JJ as an off the bench scorer would be something nice to have? Do you try to add a Jackson Hayes to the mix? And then basically the plan is out of the 3 of Gaff Daddy, Wendell, and Jackson Hayes, whichever 2 we like best, those are the ones we're going to run with. Do you try to add a Nickeil Alexander-Walker? Do you try to add a Josh Hart? Because other than that, like Willie Herman Gomez, Thornwell, Gabriel, and Najee Marshall, those guys don't really interest me. So like
they have an abundance of picks, do they not?
Yeah, but like I'm talking about to make the contracts work.
I'm talking about the abundance of picks.
Yeah, well, you got
Kobe White's still on a rookie deal. So is Lonzo Ball. Contracts aren't a problem.
Lonzo's at $11 million. Kobe, we would need $1.1 million away from our side to them. That's what I'm just saying. Like you got to make the contracts work.
Show that $1.1 million, Ricky.
What are you getting rid of? Let's see. Let's say how much is JJ's making? JJ's making 13. We do have the ultimate contact filler on our team. I
think you're
this year's pick or next year's pick. If you're the Pelicans, which one are you trading?
I don't know.
I'll just throw in a pick. So basically, the trade I've got is JJ and Lonzo for Kobe, Felicio, and Tomas Satoransky. Are you making that deal if you're a Bulls fan? Or if you're the Bulls in general?
No. I don't. I mean, JJ, the whole thing with JJ is they want to trade him home. So
good point.
That doesn't achieve that goal.
Good point. So he'd be off.
I mean, there's no reason we care about Felicio at this point because he's on the final year of an expiring deal, so that's valuable to us.
He's in there for he was in there because the JJ Redick would have been $13 million, so that fills some of the contract. Like it just depends on, like you said, what do you want in that deal? Like you were saying, oh, we're giving up Kobe. Are the Pelicans gonna have or want to trade the piece that we would want because we feel like Kobe is the better player? Like that's the only reason. And that's the reason why I'm kind of sitting there thinking, yet again, if I'm the Bulls and this brings it all back up.
Kobe White, Luke Cornett for Lonzo Ball and a first.
That would probably, that would work.
That would work. That's all I'm saying.
Just one first is what you're trying to get? Or because then you're basically by giving up Kobe, it's them giving us a first rather than us having to give up
Right. They're giving us a first rounder. Which first rounder is the question, because they have multiple.
Yeah.
Like you said, which one would you want? Would you want theirs? Would you want the Lakers? Would you want the obviously the Bucks? Like nobody fucking wants that shit.
They've got two that right now they have two this year,
Yep.
and then they have one next year, and they have two in 2023. Well,
yeah, I would take whatever the highest pick is this year.
This
probably
one,
their own.
It would be their own.
Yep.
So they'd be giving us their own pick. They would keep the Lakers pick.
Yep.
So then we would have two picks. They would have one. Like, I wouldn't be mad at that, but also at the same time, and this is the kind of ending point of it, of if you're AK, you're sitting there, you're going, huh, he wants to come here, huh? Then why should I trade anything to you? Yet again, if you want that draft capital, you're going to have to trade something. Maybe that's the only reason why something would get done, if we can get draft capital. But if, let's say, AK is not willing to trade Kobe, which is the only reason we would get draft capital, then I don't see.
Who knows if we give up Lowry? I just think that we're both on the side of Lowry's likely to stay.
Yep.
Kobe White, I think, is someone who has been bounced around as far as like where he's going to end up long term. You know, he's not really a true point guard. He's been working on his facilitating, but clearly him and Zach have a lot of overlap in what they can do, how they do play. And they're not really a beneficial tandem in your backcourt defensively. So I think that you just have to look at, the writing on the wall and go, well, you know what? He's a good player. I don't know if we can make it work with him, but what we can do is try to get a great return on him maybe and get a better fit. I mean, yes, we have to pay Lonzo long term, but if we can get back a mid first and Lonzo Ball signed to a long term deal, not the worst thing in the world.
And I mean, if we do keep Lowry, because Otto would be coming off the books. Yeah. If AK feels like we want to pay Lowry, you could have enough to pay Lonzo, lock down Lowry, and have Zach LaVine on this team, which would be
and then max Zach to an extension. Yes,
match Zach, because we can go over for that, but. In the end, do I see a deal getting done? No, because I just see the Bulls tackling it in free agency. But yet again, I don't know if that's the best way to do it, because obviously if he hits free agency, everyone is in there. And Brooklyn, or not Brooklyn, but someone like what Brooklyn used to do could just say, bam, there's a fucking contract. And then the Bulls go, great. We're not going to throw anything better than that at him.
Nah, that's what's going to happen to THT. Talen's getting signed to a 4-year deal for like $84 million.
Yeah.
Someone's going to fuck with the Lakers.
Yeah.